What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Boogie2988 coming at you live once again through the power of the internet, and this is my weekly gaming news show, so let's just get right into the games. So it's finally here, one of my most anticipated games of the year, but certainly for quite some time. Far Cry 5 is out. It's currently got an 81 Metascore over there at Metacritic at the time of filming this. No user review scores because the game is not officially out, but it's probably going to be out by the time you see this. But 81 Metacritic score is about where I'd put it after having played it for, I guess, a total of about 5 hours so far. It is definitely more Far Cry, but it does something that Far Cry 4 didn't, or Far Cry Primal does, which is innovates a lot. There's a handful of new guns, but nothing really exciting there. A handful of new vehicles, but nothing really exciting there. What they really do here is with the plot, it's very, very different from a previous Far Cry, and we'll talk about that in a second. But there's a lot of life improvement stuff, very little crawling up radio towers. Instead, you discover maps and notes and stuff like that, and that unlocks things on the map. You save NPCs, you talk to the NPCs. I don't know, it's definitely an improved Far Cry experience, but it is a Far Cry experience. So if you're used to Far Cry, this is more Far Cry, just better. It's just better. Obviously, getting rid of radio towers, that's a great way to improve the game. And a different way to discover landmarks is a much better improved system. But they even got rid of stuff that really annoyed me, like the animal skin system. You can still hunt to your heart's content, but you don't need those skins to unlock perks or anything like that. You can just sell them at a local vendor or hunt to do a quest or something along that lines. But it's not like a necessary part of the game anymore. I like that. You can unlock more inventory spot via the perk trees, and the perks are easy to get. I enjoy that part quite a bit. There is microtransactions and a season pass, though I will hold off on the season pass until I actually get to see some of the DLC, even though it promises to be very creative and very interesting. I'll wait, and I hope that you guys wait as well. When it comes to microtransactions, the only thing you can purchase in the single player or the multiplayer for microtransactions does not affect the gameplay. It is exclusively cosmetic items, and those cosmetic items you can also unlock via in-game currency. That's the way it stands right now. That's subject to change as they add stuff to the game later. But as it is right now, you cannot affect the gameplay no matter how much money you spend, which is good because they are encouraging people to buy $50 chunks of in-game currency. Which is just kind of silly, But I'll give them credit. This is definitely not EA. This is Ubisoft is doing a little bit better than EA, and they deserve the credit where credit is due. Then there's the controversial issue of the plot. This does take place in America and does talk about, guns in America. So if you're easily triggered and you can't handle that kind of thing, maybe you don't want to play this game. But I have to say, even though you're killing Christian militants in the state of Montana, these people are not your average Christians or your average militants, to be fair. These are some of the craziest people I've ever met. The reason I like the Far Cry series is because the bad guys are truly evil. And these guys are some of the most evil people I've ever seen in the video game so far. And I'll say that the topic is handled very, very well. I'm very surprised at how well they handled this particular topic and this particular setting and everything else. That said, if you're easily triggered, maybe this is not the game for you, but I think it's done very, very well. But I will say, when it comes to the seeds, the four main bad characters of this game, I feel like I've known people very similar to that, and I bet you will too, and it can be fairly scary. It scares the hell out of me. That's why I think these guys are such good bad guys, because they're very believable, and except extra crazy. So much crazier than anybody could ever be in real life. The whole concept of this game is highly implausible, but maybe possible, and that's what I like about it. But overall, it's a relatively well-made game. Very good use of music, very good use of action. I feel like the AI could use some improvements. The spawning in of AI monsters and bad guys, that could use a little bit of improvement. I mean, it's a Far Cry game. It's goofy, it's wild, it's action-packed, it's crazy, and there's really good bad guys. So if you're waiting on picking this one up, I think it's okay to wait. I don't think there's any major spoilers, but if you are interested in picking this up on day one, I think I can recommend it, and that's a rarity for me. Miracles can happen. Ubisoft made a really, really good game for the first time in a couple of years. I'm very proud of you, Ubisoft. Keep up the good work. Now, this week's video is sponsored by the folks over there at Glasses USA. So I finally got my prescription updated, and I know my glasses look the same as every other video I've made in the last year, and that's because I just got the second, I got the frames a second time. I like these frames so much. I just got them again. They're nice, they're strong, they're sturdy. These lasted me well over a year. The lenses never got scratched, and I just liked them enough to get it again. I also picked up this pair of frames to wear as my character Francis, as a way to differentiate the character, because obviously glasses are very expressive, and it's nice to have multiple pairs of glasses on hand to fit your style or your mood or whatever you're doing that day. Now, when I did go to the eye doctor to update this prescription, they tried to upsell me on my way out of the doctor's office to try to get me to buy a pair of expensive glasses. And I know from going to that eye doctor a few years back and buying a pair of glasses there, I spent $300 on that set. And that's laughable because you can get a pair of glasses with the frames from Glasses USA, the link in the description box below, for as cheap as $48. There's no way I'll overpay for glasses at an eye doctor ever again. So do me a favor, click on the link in the description box below and you can start shopping for glasses right now. They have over 2,500 different sets of frames that you can choose from. Also, as a way of saying thank you for supporting me, there's a deep discount if you use that link. And don't worry, it is a risk-free proposition because they have a 365-day warranty, 24/7 customer support, and if you don't like your glasses for any reason in the first 14 days, you can send it back for a complete and full refund. So check it out. So the reviews are finally starting to come in for Sea of Thieves. And I'm just going to be honest with you, I think these reviews are fairly accurate. We got about a 5.5 user score and about a 70 on Metacritic, with only 24 critics weighing in, because obviously you couldn't review this online-only experience until waiting for a little while. And I'm glad everybody waited. But now that the verdicts are in and I played the game for 10 or 15 hours and these guys have played the game for 10 or 15 hours, let's talk about what went wrong with Sea of Thieves. Now, a lot of people are comparing this to No Man's Sky, and when you look at the review scores side by side, you got a 71 Metacritic score for No Man's Sky, a 4.5 user score. I mean, that is in definitely the same territory, which is kind of disheartening. A lot of people are saying this is the Xbox's No Man's Sky. There's a certain couple points where I agree. I very much disagree, but there's a couple of points where I do agree. At its base, Sea of Thieves is beautiful. It's fun to play. It's fun to mess around with. The boating simulation, the water effects, all of that is really, really good stuff. And what is there is well done and enjoyable. I feel like that's definitely how it differentiates from No Man's Sky. Just even the base level of No Man's Sky was boring. This is at least a little bit more interesting. The problem is there's almost nothing there. This game is very similar to VR chat in that you're just they created the world and then you drop into the world and you have your own fun, except VR chat has user created content and VR chat is also free to play. And this is a $60 title with, developers working on new content that'll come out seasonally, frequently with new patches and stuff like that. But that's basically an early access title, except this game wasn't released in early access. And with what's there, it wasn't worth $60. $20 for sure. Maybe 40, definitely not 60. Now, the developers are promising patches with new content all of the time, which I'm absolutely for, and this game isn't dead to me. It'll stay on my hard drive. I will mess around with it the next time there's a big content patch, but if you play this game for 4 or 5 hours, you've seen everything there is in the base game. The only thing that's left at that point is the PvP, the social experience, and since there's no rewards for the social experience and no rewards for the PvP, it can just come across as fairly boring to a lot of players, and I understand why. If you've watched me stream this game, you know I love the social experience. I love VR chat. I love comedy night. I love all of these social experiment games, and this is one of those games I'll come back to again and again and again, but there really needed to be more content there for $60 because comedy night was $5. VR chat is free. This was $60. That's the big mistake here. Now, the good news is this game is on Game Pass, so I think very few people actually paid $60 for this game. I think the mass majority of people, at least the ones that watch my videos, knew to get this game for free with a 14-day free Game Pass trial, and then maybe if you spend $99 on Game Pass, the $9.99 you spent was well worth it, including this game for free. That said, at the end of the day, I think a 7 out of 10 is probably right where this game deserves to be. It's what's there is really good, and if they build on what's there, it'll be even better. But as it is right now, it's definitely not enough for a $60 title. This should have been released as early access, and I really don't know why Xbox didn't do that. I still really enjoy the game, though. What I think we have to learn from Sea of Thieves here is that maybe we're not ready for a game like that anymore. Maybe that's an artifact of the past. I really wish that wasn't the case because I really enjoyed the idea behind this game, and I've enjoyed the time I spent with this game. I just think there needs to be so much more there, but it doesn't look like your average player is ready for that. And if that's the case, then maybe this type of game genre is dead. That kind of sucks. But hopefully not. Hopefully there's enough players who will continue to play this game and enjoy this game to where people will try this business model again and again and again and again because, man, I had fun playing it. Problem is, I just don't really want to play anymore. I feel like I've seen everything there is until there's a nice big patch. So hopefully we'll get that patch soon. Guys, that's going to do it for this week. I know I uploaded way earlier in the week than I normally do, but I wanted to make sure we got this Far Cry talk out of the way before you went and decided to purchase the game. And I want to talk about Sea of Thieves again as early as we can. We might have another video later in the week, so feel free to tune in and stay tuned to the channel just in case. But until then, guys, don't forget to check out the link in the description box below to my sponsor shop for some glasses. You'll be supporting me as you do. But thanks just for watching the video. If you just sat through that ad, you're already supporting me that way, and I appreciate you doing it. Guys, thanks for watching. I love you very much, and I'll speak with you again soon. Over here, skinny old man. I will not rest until we have nothing but fatties to choose from. Fat dudes. Nothing but fat dudes, please.